Hello there, my name is Abdul Malik Omar, and I'm the author of the book called The Art of Learning, Kaching, and Triumph, which will be coming out soon here in Brunei in several weeks' time. In this video, I'm going to give 3 tips on how you yourself can become an author too. So the first tip that I like to give is for you to read a lot. There's no escaping the arduous journey of reading, but then again it's quite a must, because then reading a lot of good works will enable you to articulate new ideas based on the words that you can learn from the other books. It will also teach you how to um, structure your ideas and to give you all these new thoughts and meanings that you can then incorporate it into your future works. And reading a lot is quite monumental here. There's no doubt. As someone who has read hundreds and hundreds of books, I'd say that there's no escaping the process. If you're not a reader, then forget about being a writer. But sorry, but this is just the harsh truth. And certainly reading shouldn't be a painful process, but rather it should be something to be enjoyed. Like if you're just starting out to read, then you can always pick up like thin books or short stories. Then eventually you progress to reading all these top awesome books like Lord of the Rings and all these classics. The second tip that I like to give is in terms of writing that is closely something that interests you a lot, because by the end of the day, you want to make sure that as a first-time author, you want to write something that you're passionate about, because your enthusiasm will then be felt by your readers. And if your readers may not like it, at the very least you can enjoy your own works, because then through the works that you've done the first or second time around, you will improve from there, and treat it as something that is something good. And yeah, it's certainly something that interests you will translate to the good pure enjoyment in reading. The third bit that I like to give, or the third advice that I like to give, is to get published. And what do you mean by get published? Well, you can start by writing for the newspapers or blogging, and just hit that post button or send it to your newspaper. And certainly this was my personal experience when I started out in terms of writing. I've set up my own blog, I publish my works there, and despite the grammatical errors that were quite rife in my writings back then, I've improved and improved and improved through trial and error. The second bit is in terms of publishing on Borneo Bulletin, Brunei's largest daily newspaper, and certainly having my works published gives me that level of confidence to really show my works and my future works. So get published. Start small. Publish a blog or publish your thoughts on the newspapers, and eventually you'll build up a sizable portfolio. They'll build up your confidence and your skills so that you can improve. So by the end of the day, you can actually write a book. So I guess like those are some of the 3 tips that I like to give. I know it's not really substantial, it's just like very normal, but I think all these 3 fundamentals is key. So the first one is to read a lot. Second is to write something that you're extremely passionate about, something that interests you. And finally, to get published. Start small. Publish in your blog or newspapers. Now, if you have any interest in publishing a book, then you can always contact me. And if you're in Brunei, we can always drink coffee and let's see how it goes. Perhaps I can advise you certain parts, because in the end of the day, I am extremely passionate about building up budding authors who are just stuck there and who has like this idea inside them, and they just want to manifest them through the books that they can produce. So you can always contact me through my email. I'm always available. Okay, maybe not always available, but yeah, I'm quite available nevertheless. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.